Hello and welcome to Ek Mulakat. I am your host Florence Handicque RABHA. Dear friends, if a country needs to become corruption free and become a nation of beautiful minds, then I strongly feel that three key societal members can make a difference, and they are the father, the mother and the teacher. Yes, dear viewers, you guessed it right. Today on our show, we have two very unique and excellent teachers who have won President's Award on 5th of September 2019. Let's have a look.
केंद्रीय विद्यालय संगठन असम, श्री पी राजेश, नवोदय विद्यालय समिति असम,
Welcome back, dear friends. And now I'm proud to introduce you to Mr. P. Rajesh from Navodaya Vidyalaya, Dorong, and Mrs. Ramaiah Iyer from IIT. KVIIT. Welcome to our show. It's so good to have you with us. Actually, I'm very happy today. In my 13 years of media in my career, this is the first time I'll be interviewing two award-winning teachers. And I myself am a teacher, so I'm really very excited about this show today. So, Mr. Rajesh, coming to you first, as your name suggests, you belong to South India, right?
Yes.
So, what brings you to Assam?
Actually, it is my first appointment, direct recruitment as a principal. I am posted in Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Dharang. It was under Ministry of HRD, run by the Government of India. It's a residential schools. And I don't feel much difference between Kerala and Assam. Almost all demographical features remains the same. Only two difference I observe. One is the language, the other one is the housing structure.
Right. Otherwise, the rain, coconut trees,
everything,
almost similar.
Even the way of the dressing also.
Right. The two-piece saris that women wear.
Same.
Same in Kerala as well as Assam.
So I feel it is my home state.
Great. So why did you choose to be a teacher at the first place?
Actually, madam, I was right from childhood, in college days, I was interested in social services. So I got an opportunity to take part in 100% literacy mission, where I got an opportunity to teach the elderly people. The love and respect I got when I was teaching them as a student during that time. Somewhere I fixed that the teaching is the job which is fit for me.
Right.
I got many other jobs in Kerala, my own state government, but initially I took appointment in KENDRIYA Vidyalaya as a teacher, and I served in KENDRIYA Vidyalaya for 4 years. Then I thought that with my vision, I could do much more in a system of education where the students and teachers are staying together. Just like the tradition states, the Gurukula Sampradaya, I can tell you the Navodaya education system is one of the unparalleled education system in the world, where the teachers and students stay in a campus, teach them, learn them together. So I thought I can contribute much more in such a residential system. So I opted my teaching in Navodaya.
Great. Actually, the students of Assam and Assam is very lucky to have a dedicated teacher like you. And Navodaya Vidyalaya Dorong is really doing very well under your leadership. Okay, Ramaiah, now coming to you. You looking so charming at this Mekhela Sadar.
Thank you.
And it's so good to have you on our show. And Ramaiah, tell us something about your teaching philosophy. Like, why do you think you received this award on the 5th of September 2019?
Florence, my teaching philosophy is very simple. I believe that all teachers need to do is take a hand, open the mind, touch the heart, broaden the horizon and bring the smile. It's very important that you create a very inclusive environment where every child feels there is a sense of belongingness there, and they are able to bring the best potential that they have. So that is all the teacher need to create, just that inquiry based stimulating learning environment, and that's all I try to bring. And of course there is that touch of humanness or empathy that a teacher must have, you know, in a classroom, so that the child feel very comfortable and bring out the best.
Wonderful, Ramaiah. So why did you choose to be a teacher at the first place? Can we know this?
Florence, I was doing my doctoral degree in Case Western Reserve University, USA. So suddenly life has, it surprises us with its turning points, you know. So I had to come back to India at that particular point due to family reasons. And my husband is a professor in IIT Guwahati. So we moved to Guwahati, and I was having two choices. One, to choose something where I could contribute a lot and make people better than me, or somewhere, you know, you choose to be just happy with what you have. So I thought that maybe I should choose the first one, you know, and I realized that I'm very good with children. They just warm up to me, and they open up to me. So I realized, maybe I should just try this out, you know, yeah, the connections, yeah.
Excellent way, excellent way of
And
thinking.
I'm not a born teacher, but
Right.
I have been learning all throughout my teaching career from every child who has come up in my life.
Wonderful. So, Mr. Ramesh, in your school, what kind of curriculum do you opt for, like, which is
Madam,
you know, good
actually-
for the students to explore their creativity as well as intellect?
Actually, Navodaya Vidyalaya, they follow the CBSE syllabus, but we have our own curriculum. The curriculum mainly aims the holistic development of the child. That is right from 5:30 morning yoga and PT, then classes. Then we have a separate system for remedial and supervised study, where we take care of the individual child.
Right.
And again, we have the scope for community services, to develop their creativity, art, music classes. So we mainly focus on education system based on the values. And education without values, I don't think it will not give any scope for the society.
Right.
So we are focusing mainly on the value based education system, where the students should understand the value of sympathy, empathy, love, courage and truthfulness. So that we in every focus of point, learning syllabus is a normal tuition process, but learning the values is much more depth in education.
Rightly said.
So sometimes we expose the real life situation to the children. We take the children outside. I take my children to help the farmers for harvesting. We take the students to help the farmers for planting paddy cultivations. We take them to the farmers or in the villages and for anti-tobacco campaigns, cancer awareness campaigns. So they let the students understand the real life situation after learning education, what role they have to play in the society.
Right.
I think if a teacher can make the child to understand what the role they have to play, I think our profession will be a successful one.
Fantastic. Okay, Ramaiah, I have heard that your classes are very interesting. So my daughter also told me about you when you were in
Thank you.
faculty. You have taught there for some time, I believe. How do you make your class so interesting that, you know, children become more curious to learn? So how do you make that environment interesting?
Florence, basically I teach biotechnology, so it's more activity based, you know. The child never forgets what he or she does. They remember it for a very long time. Second is, as I said, you know, it's very important that child feels the ownership of the knowledge. Whatever they are learning, when they feel that, they never forget. And they are completely involved in the process. And another thing is, I always feel that, you know, every child is different. So I should ensure that that particular child is very comfortable in and is learning in his or her own pace. They are not in competition with anyone. They are competing with themselves. They are trying to be better than what they were yesterday to what they are today. So it's like, you know, mutual collaborative and cooperative environment that we are trying to instill in the classroom. And as I said, I try to improvise it every single day I go to class.
Right.
It's a new day.
Wonderful. Okay, Mr. Rajesh, I've gone through your CV and I found that you have an international diploma in training and counseling and guidance, and also you are a life skill. You are very good at life skill education. So, what kind of programs do you organize for teachers as well as students, and how do they help in making the present scenario, education scenario of Assam or India better?
Madam, basically I am an economics teacher.
Right.
But after teaching them, when teaching them, I understood that without understanding the real psychology of an individual student, Madam was rightly telling, every child is unique. Without personally understanding them, our teaching cannot be called as perfect.
Right.
So, after joining as a teacher, I have completed my clinical psychology, MSc in clinical psychology, and I got an opportunity to join in International Diploma in Guidance and Counselling, which was organized by Commonwealth of Learning in collaboration with the Government of Canada. Here it is organized by CBS, NCRT, and I am happy that to share you that I was the first rank holder of
first
that
position holder,
first position holder of that course. And after that, I was for the last 10 years, I was the counseling in charge in the Vidyalaya, where I can very proudly tell that I could at least support some of the emotionally disturbed children. I could motivate them towards the studies. We always forget the emotional pain of the students.
Right.
We always focus upon the pain of the elders. But when a student comes to the Vidyalaya, when they are not able to cope up in subject, or they have some emotional disturbance with their friends or in family problems, are they able to learn in the classroom when you do not support? This was a question. So, this is where I focus. I call individual child, I will support them. I have my own counseling center in my schools earlier, now I am a principal. So, I used to train all my teachers in almost all the training courses. I teach them how to equip the students to face all kinds of the hardship, instead of simply teaching them and giving speeches. They should equipped by themselves to face the different situation. They
I think it's very important to train the teachers also to identify the disability in a student as early as possible, so that we can work towards the
definitely, madam. Just to tell you an example. One teacher came, I am a principal, one teacher came to me telling that one child is not at all writing the notebooks, complaining. One second I went to the classroom and I asked the child to read something on the blackboard. The child was not able to see the blackboard. He is having some vision problem, but the teacher could not identify that one. I asked the child to sit in the front row, the child started to write the notebook. Some of the simple reason the teachers are overlooked. So, if the teachers do not have the empathy to identify the problem of the child, then I personally feel that the teaching profession is a failure.
Right.
Until and unless the teacher is not able to understand the potential of the child and have the sympathy and empathy on the child, definitely the last bench child also will come up. That is my education philosophy, and I help the teachers. Tomorrow also I have a training program at NLI. Where I teach the crisis management, wherein some problem happens in Navodaya, how it can be solved without having much trauma upon the students and institution.
I hope we have the quantity of the teachers, joining these training programs it's quite good.
Yeah, it is actually in our institution it is compulsory, though there is no question of the quantity, because they depute the teachers.
Okay.
So, we used to train
because
them.
it's so important to spread the awareness.
Definitely. Now, years back we learned some pedagogical science, and afterwards we just teach the same syllabus, what is knowledge, and that will not work in real education.
So, how frequently do you conduct these kind of trainings and programs?
But wherever the training programs our organization conducts, I also participated in every places. So, giving training to the teachers to equip the child is very, very,
Very
important.
important. Okay, Ramaiah, you are a multifaceted personality. You are a writer, you are a choreographer, you are a trained classical dancer. So how has it helped, these qualities, how has it helped to, shape your own teaching career as a teacher? And now related to this, what kind of personality traits you feel should be there in a teacher?
Okay, Florence, coming to your first question, yeah, I was co-curricular in charge of my previous school for the past 10 years, and I have always seen to it that, most of the co-curricular activities that we organize in the school, it involves mass participation, because it's very important that every child feels the need to participate. Because every child has something or other in them. It's just the initial inhibition or hesitation that he or she doesn't come forward. So we ensure that there is mass participation. Second, it involves those activities which caters to the interest of the students. So I ensure that there is a calendar of activities which I even ask students, what type of activities do you want?
Right.
So the calendar is prepared accordingly, and we have every week there is competition. Besides that, I have choreographed many classical dances, and where the children present these dances in cultural festivals, annual day programs, and it has got wide appreciation. Great. So I feel good that something that I love dancing. It was one of my passions. So I still keep it alive by dancing with my students, or even dancing with my daughters, whenever I get time. And coming to other activities, like I am also a guide and mentor to various programs like National Children's Science Congress and science exhibitions, where children excel in the national, regional platforms, and they even present papers in international conferences. So, our children were the only one who were wearing school uniform amongst all the PhD scholars and professors, and it gave me a lot of happiness that these children were able to come to that level. Even some of them participate in international student exchange programs like Sakura, Genesis, where they had gone to Japan, and it's like a student exchange program. So that was a wonderful opportunity for them. Similarly, I also hold twinning sessions where children from other states like Puducherry, Manipur, they visit our lab, our school, and they learn about our culture, and there are scientific interactions. And our children, they visited Puducherry. I had taken them, and we even had an interaction with Dr. Kiran Bedi, and she really appreciated their work. So these twinning sessions help them to develop 21st century skills, effective communication, collaborate, communicate effectively, even with children like not from their own state. So it's very important to build these life skills in the children. Now, coming to the traits that I feel a teacher should have, the first one is patience.
Right.
And the teacher should be flexible, because the approaches need to be changed, pedagogical approach need to be changed at times, so she or he should be very flexible and approachable. The child should feel comfortable walking up to you and say his or her problem. So there should not be that wall, between the teacher and the student.
That's very important, yes.
And of course, content knowledge. Unless the teacher is not passionate about what they are teaching, I don't think the children will enjoy learning.
Right.
So the content knowledge is very
well
important.
Said, well said. Okay, Mr. Rajesh, Navodaya, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Dorong is doing very well under your leadership, as I said earlier too. And recently you won an appreciation award for highest registration in Shillong region, if I am not wrong.
Yes.
And it has shown highest improvement in CBSE results.
Yes.
So how have you made it possible?
Actually, when I joined in Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Dharang, the result was the lowest. I took it as a challenge. What is needed is motivation for the students and teachers. When I interacted with the students, they are highly motivated and talented. So somewhere I thought of motivating them, where if regarding the registration, when I joined in the year 2017, the registration was near about only 700. It's a central government institution spending crores of rupees for the rural poor talented children. I thought this system has to be breaked at any cost. So, I personally, with the help of the district administration, I myself and my teachers travelled in the rural areas, villages, in those schools, and contacted the rural poor talented children and told about them what is going on in the Vidyalaya. And in the next year, it became near about 2,500. In the 2018, it was 3,541 registration. That was the highest in the Shillong
Fabulous.
region. And madam, this year I have completed my registration. Our registration was 4,253, again highest in the Shillong region.
Wow, marvelous.
So, that when I do believe that when we communicate the right things to the people, actually the demand comes. Actually the demand comes. Now, from 700 to near about 4,200, the jump, it is the real the hard work of my teachers. Yes,
So, how often do you hold meetings with your teachers? Is it every day or once in a week?
It is not in every day. Sometimes after the morning assembly, we have an interactive session.
Okay.
Otherwise, every once in a week or in 2 weeks once, like that, I interact with the teachers. Personally, I call the teachers sometimes. What if I wanted to communicate something, I personally communicate. And if a team work is there, when a meeting will be conducted, then I motivate them. And regarding the result, it was only 74% in the year 2017, and now it is 100% result we could achieve. And what the target my teachers and myself fixed here this year is our school should be the first Vidyalaya scoring 100% distinction. It's my dream. Every student should score 100% distinction.
I'm sure you will achieve it very soon.
My students are very capable and talented, even my teachers.
I can imagine under your leadership, I can imagine that, Mr. Rajesh. Okay, Ramaiah, even your school where you have taught for so many years, Kendriya Vidyalaya Khanapara, has been doing very well, like for the past 10 years, 100% pass percentage. That's a great achievement.
In my subject, yes.
So recently in 2018 also you received an award for holistic approach, education.
I got the National Incentive Award by Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan. It is the highest award that KVS confers on its employees, and basically the selection has been like the same as National Teacher Award. It was an online process, very transparent and democratic way of selection, and the teachers' contribution in different fronts, both from academic, co-curricular, community services, and training programs, her or his contributions to training programs, and the teachers' performance index, that is how well the students have performed. It is not just quantity, it's also quality. So even that is taken care of. So I'm very happy, and I would say I'm blessed that I could get this award. Last year.
Great. Congratulations once again for all the awards that you have been receiving. And Mr. Rajesh, you are very involved in community services also. So how do you guide your children? Like you said, you take them to the farmers, to the paddy fields to help the farmers, and also you guide them to help the orphans. And what else? Can you throw some more light so that other schools who are watching this program, they also get to learn something?
Madam, it's a part of our value system.
Right.
We can just teach and live, but if we are committed that our students should understand what is real education, the more role is from the teachers. So we have to develop that values, so that we, as already I told you, I used to take my students, even when I was a teacher, to the orphanage and even these old age homes, and made them to understand what is the real life.
Right.
I used along with my children to take food and to share with those old age people who was there in the old age people, and at least one day we will share the food, so that students feel how after growing, whether the father and mother when become old can they live in the old age home.
That's a wonderful initiative taken by you, I must say. And Ramaiah, you also hold workshops on drug abuse. So what is your approach towards the parents regarding career counseling and drug abuse by the students and all? Just say in brief.
The students actually, it's instead of talking about morality, I think when you talk science, when you talk about scientific aspects of harmful effects of using drugs, probably that will bring more awareness, and that is what I have been trying to do. Like I use scientific talks or seminars under various scientist who comes and talks about the harmful effects. And regarding career counseling, I have always used a two-pronged approach. One, in my own field, I always ensure that children get to know what is happening by making them visit educational institutions, making them interact with scientists, so they literally know what it is to be a biotechnologist.
Yeah, right.
Now,
That's
coming to
approach,
other professions, I bring experts in various fields to my school so that children can interact with those eminent personalities and get to know what are the, what it is to be in that field. So when you learn from the best, you become best.
Well, Mr. Rajesh and Mrs. Ramaiah, as we have very less time in hand, so I would like to go on and on. But before we wrap up this program, I would like you to share with us how did you feel when when it was announced that you will be receiving the President's Award on the 5th of September 2019. Please share your feelings with us and our viewers.
Obviously, very, very happy and elated, and of course motivated and encouraged to do more and contribute more to the society, because along with the award comes a huge responsibility, because you are chosen among lakhs of teachers. So there is that sense of responsibility that you want to contribute much more.
You traveled all the way to Delhi to receive the award?
Yes.
Wonderful, congratulations. And you, Mr. Rajesh, how did you feel to receive that award?
Feeling so proud that in the career of teaching, we were able to reach up to the Rashtrapati Bhavan, getting honor from the President of India. When this result was announced, I got a message from my commissioner. Congrats, Mr. Rajesh. It is because of your never dying approach and hard work. So I am happy that our work is being appreciated. That is a motivation for all those teachers, those who are doing good work.
Truly said, fantastic. It's so wonderful meeting you both, and both of you are truly an inspiration for all the students or people or youngsters who aspire to become good teachers in future. Thank you so much for coming to our studios. Well, dear viewers, you just met the two excellent award-winning teachers, Mr. Rajesh and Mrs. Ramaiah. I hope you enjoyed our conversation. Well, very soon we'll come back to you with more interesting personalities on this very show, same time, same channel. Till then, please take good care of yourselves. This is your host Florence saying goodbye to you for now. Keep smiling and stay motivated.